So we're now going to talk about the order of results. And we'll see that there's different ways that you can order results to have different effects. So remember that the order of results is more deterministic in a Java stream, especially a parallel stream, than the processing order. And I should reiterate again, as if I haven't made this point about 20 times, these ordering issues are really an issue for parallel streams. For sequential streams, you typically end up within counter order just because there's nothing else going on to affect it, even if the collection you're streaming and processing using your stream doesn't enforce in counter order. You'll often end up the order in which they were encountered just because there's nothing else going on in parallel. So the order of results can be preserved if you want to have encounter order preserved. So let's talk a bit more about what encounter order is. So encounter order, or EO, is the order in which a stream source makes its elements available. So again, I always like to think about this as sort of left to right, although that's not always the right metaphor to use. It's really the order in which the split iterator processes things. So encounter order is maintained if the source is ordered. As we've seen, you have different sources like array lists versus hash sets, and the aggregate operations that are used in the stream don't change the order. So if those characteristics hold, then encounter order will be maintained. And as we've talked about a couple times, what's interesting about this is that the semantics with respect to encounter order are identical whether or not the stream is a parallel stream or a sequential stream. So they will have the same behavior, although there could be a cost, as we've seen, a higher cost if you have parallel streams under some circumstances. And therefore, the performance may very well differ. So the take-home point from all this discussion about ordering is that you do have control over the ordering of results. You don't really have control over the processing order in most cases, but you can control the results. And the way you can control the results, as we'll see, is through picking appropriate data sources. Some are ordered, some are not. Picking appropriate intermediate operations. Some maintain order, some don't. And picking appropriate terminal operations, some of which maintain order and some of which don't. A lot of the time, it doesn't really matter, but sometimes you need to preserve order for whatever reason. So if you do need that, then these mechanisms available in Java streams give you plenty of flexibility.